Hey guys, happy Friday night. I hope you had an awesome week. I'm jumping on live tonight because I've had a few comments come back to me asking how do I organise my week? How do I get things done to be the coordinated person that I am? So I thought I would bring you back into my kitchen to watch in action how I plan out my week. Now, I generally plan out my week from a Monday to a Sunday, and I do my planning on a Friday. So this gives me a little bit more time to work out when I can shop over the weekend. So Friday I plan out everything that's going to happen for the week, and then depending on what we've got on for the weekend, whether I shop on a Saturday or a Sunday, or sometimes even a Friday if I can. But I feel like it gets a little bit tricky with fresh fruit and stuff for school lunches to last that whole way. So depending on what's happening for the weekend is where I start to work out when I'm going to shop. So the first thing I do to plan out my week is I have this planner that is a magnet and it sticks to my fridge. And it just says Monday to Sunday really, and then has another little area down here for notes or shopping. I'm not sure if you can see that well enough through the camera. So this has been on our fridge for years. I've used it for a really, really long time. I'm not exactly sure where you can get them from, but I'm sure if you had a quick Google, you'll be able to find lots of stuff. So this is the hub of our kitchen. This is the go-to for everything. And even the kids start to know and understand what this board is. As they're getting older, they can read what's happening for dinner and when we've got activities and stuff going on. So this is where the week starts to be planned for me. So the first thing I do is I will write in my husband's shifts, what he's doing for the week. So he works on a rotating roster. It changes every single week, and he gets his roster about a month or so in advance. So it's forever changing, and it's really not in any predictable pattern. Something that we've found really handy and helpful for us to do to help with our communication is we both have iPhones and we sync our calendars in our phones. So he puts all his shifts into his calendar on the phone, and then I can see that comes through into my calendar as well. So the same thing when we've got appointments going on, we've got parties and social events or whatever, I put them in the phone and then he can see what's going on as well. So if he gets asked for a shift swap or something happens at work, it's really easy for me just to be able to see whether that slots into what's happening, or if he gets asked for a shift swap and he can see that we've got a family event happening, then he knows he can say no straight away. It really helps with that communication. We found it really helpful as well when I was working my corporate role prior to starting up my business. We literally would have days where we only saw each other for 10 minutes in the morning. So he would be coming off night shift, half asleep, and I would be standing here ready in my work gear, ready to run out the door. So, trying to get all the information out in 5 seconds when you're seeing each other is really hard sometimes. So this really helped us improve our communication by just putting notes into our phones that each of us could see whenever we opened up the calendar. We found that really helpful. So anyway, so that's my starting point to what I do for the week. So I have a whole bunch of whiteboard markers, love my markers, and I literally go through the dates on our phone, in my phone calendar, and see what shifts he's on. So, not working Monday, 6 a.m. My kids have been borrowing my markers, and I'm not happy because they press too hard and they ruin them. Alright, hopefully this one works. We've got 6 a.m. on Tuesday, 6 a.m. start Wednesday, 2 p.m. start Thursday, 2 o'clock again Friday, 2 p.m. again on Saturday. So I've written all these shifts in. I just write AM or PM and his starting time. When the kids were younger, I found it really helpful when it was a day shift or a night shift. I used to draw either a sun for day or a star for the night, and I used to put them in different colours, and that really helped the kids before they could read to know what shift hubby was on, so they knew when he would be home or when he wouldn't be, and those sorts of things. So the visual cues really helped us to explain to our boys what was happening, where Dad was, what the work schedule is. And because it's always changing, they obviously couldn't work out what was happening each day. So this turned into a really good visual cue for us, for the kids, to be able to say what shift Dad was on. So I've got his shifts on the roster. That's the first thing I do. The next thing that comes in is any appointments, events, social stuff, anything like that. I like to use different colours because I love stationery. You don't have to, but it helps me, and again, it is a good tool for the kids. They can see what, shifts are in one colour, appointments in another, what we're going to have for dinner is in another colour. So I will go through and write on our standard things that we know. We've got baseball training on Wednesday afternoons. We've got swimming on Saturday mornings at 9:30. We've got our actual game day of baseball on Sunday, 9 a.m. And if I had any doctor's appointments, if something else was coming up for the week, I was going to get my hair done or something, I write it all on. Anything that's kind of out of the norm for the week, whatever's on, I look through the calendar, whatever's in there, whatever's happening. If we're going out for dinner or something like that, I'd write it in there, because then I don't have to worry about meal prepping that day. Or again, if we had a family barbecue or something for lunch on the Sunday, I probably wouldn't cook dinner. I'd make that my easy night, where we may just have leftovers from the barbecue, or just have a quiche and salad or something simple, something from the freezer, or that can be an easy night of 2-minute noodles or something like that. So, alright, I've got hubby shifts in there, I've got our commitments for the week, and then I will move into meal planning from there. So one of the things that's really important to note is Wednesday afternoons we have baseball at 4:30 in the afternoon till 5:30. So that day, Wednesdays is the day that I will not cook anything that takes more than 20 minutes to get on the table, because the boys are starving once they've finished training. By the time we get home, it's like 20 to 6, and we generally eat around 5:30, 6 o'clock, because the kids are just hungry, and instead of letting them snack, we just eat dinner. So I know that's a day that I have to cook something really quick and easy. That's generally a day that I might make spaghetti bolognese, or something that I can sort of pre-cook through the day, because I could make the pasta sauce through the day or the night before, and then when I get in the door, all I need to do is heat up some pasta for myself. I would do my zucchini noodles, or something a little bit different like that, to keep it easy, quick, fresh. And it avoids us getting takeaway then, because we know what we're going to make. I've got it planned out in my head. I'm not driving home after baseball going, oh my God, what are we going to eat? Don't know what's in the fridge. How long is that going to take? Oh, I'll just drive through and get some takeaway or something like that. So it really helps keep us all on track to knowing what's happening. And you save money too. When you know exactly what you're cooking, there's less wastage, because you're not buying things randomly at the supermarket. You're actually taking the time to think about what you're going to cook, checking in your cupboard, in your fridge, have I got this? Yep, okay, I don't need to buy that. And then form your shopping list from there. Otherwise, you may find that you're in the shops and you'll buy another bag of pasta or another tin of tomatoes. You get home, you're like, oh, okay, I've already got 5 of those. That's real helpful. So a good tip from my perspective is just making sure that you're quite thorough with your planning, because the more thorough you are with your planning, the smoother each of the processes go, and it just makes life easier. Things just all start to roll and fall into one. Okay, so they're the things I'm thinking of why I'm putting down Because you think, well, I know I've got baseball every week, but it's a nice visual cue for us. It's good for the kids to see, and it's a good reminder for me to go, okay, that's my easy night of what I'm going to cook. So there's a few different ways that I'll decide what we're going to have to eat for the week. Sometimes I will flick through cookbooks. Very rarely, I probably don't touch half of my cookbooks as much as I used to. As you guys know, I have a Thermomix and I really like that. I think that's great. And I have a subscription with that. It's called Cookie Do, and that is basically like a recipe app that can link to your machine as well. So sometimes I'll just search through recipes on the different Thermomix type things, so I can utilize using that piece of kitchen equipment as well. So and other times I will just check what I've got in the freezer. So what meat have I got in there? What do I need to use up? And I'll think of dishes and meals to cook up just from what I've already got. If all the Mexican taco kits and stuff were on sale last week, I might have a stash of those in the cupboard, and then I might plan to make that into my meal prep list for this week. So there's no real right or wrong way of doing planning. It's just what works for you. And it actually might not even be the same thing that works for you every week. So like I just said, one week you might be searching through recipes to come up with something new and fresh and different. And other weeks you might just be going, I'm not buying any more food, I've got to use up what I've got here, and go from there. So it's really as simple as that. It's putting it out visually so you can see, and then mapping out your dinners from there. So like I said, we're going to do spag bowl on Wednesday because that's quick and easy from baseball. I'm going to make the sauce at lunchtime when I have a lunch break. And then all I've got to do is cook up some pasta when I get home, and then make sure I've got some zucchini noodles or some veggies steamed. So I generally try not to eat too much pasta, especially later overnight, just feel like it sits too heavy for me. So I'll have some steamed veggies or the zucchini noodles, something like that, and I'll still eat the pasta sauce, things like that. So I'll go through my freezer and see what I've got. And the other thing that I pay attention to is what shifts my husband is on. So if he's on night shift, that's, depending on what it is, or a day shift where he won't be home until after we eat, say he doesn't get home until 7 o'clock or something like that, I would be mindful of what I'm making and how it reheats. So just so when he gets home, he's still being able to enjoy a meal, and it's not something that doesn't reheat very well at the same time. And the nights that he's on night shift, I might make something that he doesn't particularly like as much. He's not a big seafood eater, so that might be a night that I make fish and have that with the kids. So I'll have my fish and salad, and the boys will have that, and some bits and pieces of salad, and I might just heat up some potato jams or something else extra for them as well. So I just consider all those little things when I'm mapping out what I'm going to cook and what I'm going to make, based off what I've got already in the freezer, what I need to use up, and whatever else that I've got happening throughout the week. So once I've mapped out everything that we're having for dinner, now this is the part that most people do, and then they form a shopping list just based on dinners, and forget to add into the list everything else that they have. So considering all the school lunches, what you need to make, whether you make sandwiches, wraps, those sorts of things. I will pre-make sandwiches and freeze them. Getting 3 lunch boxes sorted every day can be quite a challenge. So I do make their lunches the night before. I've shared that with you guys before on our cooking, on our lunchbox tips and info. So I will freeze sandwiches for the kids, individually wrapped, and then I can just pull them out throughout the week as I go. So I'm not spending an hour making lunches each night. Still takes a good 20 minutes to make all 3 lunch boxes, but it's certainly a lot quicker with that planning. So I'll make sure I might buy 2 loaves of bread so I can pre-make all of those sandwiches in my prep time, and just consider all those bits and pieces. What are they having in their lunch box for the week? how much fruit to buy, all those sorts of things, milk, all those staples. So I would plan out, so where I start, I plan out what I'm having for dinner. I would check whether I've got enough, if I've got all the ingredients that I need to make these dinners. So I know I've got mince in the fridge, I know I've got pasta in the cupboard, but I might need to get some passata sauce or something like that. So I'll write that on my list. And again, I do this flexibly and it changes week to week depending on where I'm at, what I'm up to. If I am able to go out to the shops, so I'm really enjoying going back to my fruit market and doing a little bit of a run around because you can't get everything at the fruit market. So I go there and I go to Aldi, and then sometimes I have to go to Woolies as well. So I would not do that if I had to take the kids with me. I would be more inclined to use a Woolworths or a Coles click and collect service. That's where you order your groceries online through their website, and then you literally just drive your car up to your local Woolworths or Coles store and they bring out your groceries to you. So that's a perfect option for me if I can't get in to do the groceries on my own, because then I literally don't even have to take the kids out of the car. They can just sit in the car's still running, and literally the attendant brings a trolley full of groceries out to me and I put it straight in the car. And that's a free service to use. So I will use that if I get stuck and I can't actually get in and shop on my own. Sometimes it can be a little bit hit and miss with the fresh food items that they pick for you. And that can be somewhat frustrating if it's not picked to your liking and those sorts of things. But you can actually add in little comments and ask them for certain types of things. And yeah, it just depends on your local store, what kind of relationship you have with them, if any. If you get to have a chat with them and give them feedback, sometimes they're receptive of that, other times they're not if they're a really big store. Our local one obviously doesn't. But you can lodge, not a complaint I guess, but you can put it in afterwards with your order. If you're not happy with any of the products that they choose for you, you can just lodge it as saying that it's not satisfactory and they'll give you a refund. So that's a great option. But again, it doesn't help you if then you've missed out on items that you need to prep, because then you've got to get to the shops. So it's hit and miss, and it really is up to your local store. Give it a go. I will use it occasionally if I need to, but my preference is to go to the fruit market and pick out all my own stuff. So I would, if I am doing a click and collect order, I'd probably have my laptop in the kitchen, and then I can just order in as I'm going. So I'm not writing it down on a pen and paper and then going over to the computer and then doing it all over again. I'll just have my laptop in the kitchen with me, and I'll just plug in the order as I'm going, as I'm seeing what I need, and then order it from there. So that would be where I started with all my dinner prep, and then I'd move into kids' lunch boxes. What am I eating for lunch for the week? What do I want to meal prep for myself? Mondays is my meal prep day, as you guys know. I brought that to you live on Monday. I'm going to be back with you live this Monday coming and giving you more insights to my meal prep sessions. So I would think about what I want to eat for the week, what snacks I want to eat, and make sure that I've mapped out all the ingredients on everything. So then I have a full complete shopping list of what I want to make. And I shop weekly as well, mainly for the fact that we eat a lot of fresh fruit and veggies, and I make sure that I keep it all in airtight containers, Tupperware containers, all those sorts of things to make sure that it gets the most life out of it. But we just eat it. We just eat a lot of food here. We don't really eat a lot of takeaway and stuff like that. So we have a big shop each week, stock everything up, and generally by Friday it is one of those situations. I was saying to Ethan yesterday afternoon, there was only one apple left in the fruit bowl, and I said to him, if you eat that this afternoon, you literally have no fruit for school tomorrow. Well, only rock melon, and he didn't like that. So mapping out what you're going to have in each of your meals. So not just dinner, your lunch prep, your snack prep, anything like that. Either writing it all down so then you've got your shopping list to take with you to the shops, or otherwise, if you're doing an online order, log it straight in to your laptop or device. I think you can even do it on your phone through the Woolies or the Coles app if you're doing that. So you can pop it straight in and then it's done. You can choose your collection time when you're going to pick it up, your window of time, your date, all those types of things. It'll show you all the specials and all that kind of stuff going on. And then that's it. You've done. You've planned for the week. So go out, pick up your shopping, come home, and that's the fun part of putting everything away. And generally the kids almost feel like it's Christmas because they're excited to see what treat or what's come home for them. Normally, yeah, something little always gets home in the shopping. But from there, I always make sure that I cut everything up, all my fruit and veggies, not necessarily into the portions that I will cook it in, but just enough to be in containers. So if I bought a whole cauliflower or something like that, I won't just quickly dump it in the fridge and walk away. I make sure that I've cut that stem off the bottom, cut it into pieces enough that I can fit it into a Tupperware container and then put it in the fridge properly, those sorts of things. And if I can't get to it straight away, as long as it's not a perishable item, I'll just leave it on the bench for a couple of hours. Your fruit or veggies are going to be fine on the bench for a little bit. So if you're literally just dashing in to drop the groceries off and then you've got to run off to sport or something else afterwards or another event or whatever you've got going on, just leave it on the bench for a little bit, because once you put it in the fridge, it really changes the consistency of your food. Honestly, it only takes a couple of hours and your celery will be absolutely gross, and I promise you won't even eat it. You'll end up throwing it away. So what's worked best for me is when I'm in a super hurry and I don't have the time to put everything away before I'm heading back out to somewhere else, I will literally just leave it on the bench. Leave the zucchinis there, leave the carrots there until I can actually put it away properly. So then that's all done. I don't write out what I'm having for lunch and my snacks. If you really wanted to do that, you could prep that out even further as well. I kind of just know what's happening. It's just myself that I'm worrying about for those meals. And sometimes I just like to go with the flow of what I feel like on the day. So I know I've got a few different things prepped and in the freezer, whether that's quiche, whether it's the ricotta pancakes, a couple of tins of tuna or whatever I've got going on for the week. I might not like to prep out exactly what I'm eating every meal. So a great question that I got the other week when I was doing my, when I was guest speaking at a networking event was, what happens if you don't feel like cooking the meal that you've set on that night? So there are a lot of people that literally don't like to live to such a routine. Doesn't feel as comfortable for them as what it is for me. I like my routine. That makes me feel planned and organised and knowing what's going to happen. But I would just move things interchangeably between that. So if I had spag bowl planned for dinner and I really sat down and was like, I don't want to eat spag bowl for dinner tonight, don't feel like cooking it or something changed, I would try and think, what else can I use that's got mince? Because for me, I know that when I wake up in the morning, make my cup of tea, I'm cooking spaghetti tonight, I'm going to get the mince out of the fridge and put it on the bench to defrost. So I'm already planning ahead of what's going to happen that night. So I'm already thinking about it. Otherwise, when you get home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you realise you haven't pulled your meat out of the freezer, what are you going to cook? You're going to end up down at the fish and chip shop or the chicken shop buying a roast chicken and some chips because you didn't pull the meat out and you can't cook what you need for dinner. So that's what I do in the mornings. I look at my planner, I see what's going on, pull the meat out of the freezer, pop it in the fridge, pop it on the bench, whatever's going on for the day, whatever the temperature is doing, and then go from there. So if I decided that I didn't feel like spag bowl, then I might go, okay, what else can I make with that mince, because it's already defrosting. I've already pulled that out to defrost. So I would go, okay, I could make rissoles, I could probably do tacos or something like that. I'll think of something else that I can use with mince, so I'm not wasting what I've already pulled out, what I've already got, and obviously need to make sure that I've got the other ingredients to change the meal plan to whatever else I'm going to have. So that's a really great way of thinking things through. However, I have caught myself out a few times when I have done this and changed it, that I've used an ingredient that I then needed later on in the week. So then I ended up having to go to the shops again because I'd used something that I didn't have enough of to get through for 2 meals. But that's quite rare, really. Generally you can make it stretch if you've got enough veggies and your staple items. You should be fine with doing those sorts of things. So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell how I plan my meals out, how I form my shopping list, and how I decide what's going on. And once I've done the food side of it, once that food aspect is all sorted out, that's when I start thinking around the different rooms in my house. And I'll go to the bathroom. Do I need soap? Do I need body wash? Do I need shampoo? Do I need toilet paper? Do I need dishwashing liquid? And then just go from room to room, and not physically sometimes. I can just do it in my mind. Other times you do need to check what you've got, whether you've got toothpaste and all those sorts of things. So I'll just go from room to room and think about what I actually need. Form the whole list, and then I'm done. Then I've got everything sorted. I will check for specials sometimes, especially Coles or Woolies, things that are half price. Washing powder, nappy sand, all those types of things. My kids have got white shirts, or Ethan, his school shirts are white, so nappy sand is a must for every single wash in my house. All those types of things, if they're half price at the shops, I will definitely try and get in and buy one. Even if I didn't necessarily need it, I'd grab it if it's half price. If your cash flow allows for that in your weekly shopping budget, that's a really awesome idea, because it will save you money in the long run. So the times when you are running out of it, you're not having to buy it when it's full price, especially those items that come on sale all the time. Your mouthwash, toothpaste, so often you can get all of that dishwashing liquid half price. So be mindful when it is coming on sale, even if you don't need it. If you're running low, if you're getting halfway, something like that, I would just pick another one up, because then that saves me money from week to week, just by sort of utilising those options a little bit more. So then, yeah, that forms my whole shopping list, and then I know exactly where I'm going from there. I don't section out my shopping list into what I need to buy, what aisle, which aisle I need to buy them from, or if that's from the supermarket, that's from Aldi, or those sorts of things. I just write one big list and I just cross it off as I go, because sometimes I will shop intermittently as well. I'll go to the fruit market and I'll think, will I risk it? That'll be cheaper at the next shop. You win some, you lose some. It's up to you. You can kind of gauge your local area and where to best buy different produce from, and how you like your produce as well. I've been enjoying going to my fruit market because I have a really good meat section as well, and I like to buy a lot of my meat from there. Find the prices very, very similar, and I've just kind of gone off the meat at Coles and Woolies. Not really enjoying it as much. So yeah, that's pretty much how we plan out our week and what we do, and then come home with a boot full of groceries and then all set for the week to prep. So yeah, if you have any questions about any of that, please feel free to hit me up. I feel like I went really detailed with you there. I hope you're all taking notes on how to do your groceries and your shopping from now on. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to finish off doing my list, and then I'm going to go and chill out because it's Friday night, kids are in bed, hubby's at work, so I'm going to watch something trashy on Netflix or something like that, and switch off for a couple of hours and head for an early night, hopefully. So I hope you found that useful. If I left anything out, if you have any other questions, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer it. So this is the kind of stuff that we talk about in our weekly group coaching calls. We have a topic each week that we discuss as a group, and we just really help each other learn different tricks and tips and everything that helps the week run a little bit smoother. So it really is what we're learning here, what we're doing in the fitness program that I've created is so much more than just fitness. We're really learning about the whole lifestyle aspect of putting it all together just to make life easier for ourselves as well. because it's hard enough doing what we have to do, right? With everything we need to keep up with, from work schedules to our kids' routines and social lives, and I don't know, apparently we fit our own social life in here somewhere. Occasionally you got to write the girls' night on there somewhere. So yeah, anything you can do to really make the daily grind just run a little bit smoother, I'm all for it. But if you have a tip that you use on a weekly basis and I didn't mention it tonight, please feel free to share it with me. I'd love to hear your tips and what you've got going on. And yeah, I hope you found that useful. Let me know. And I will see you guys live on Monday for some meal prep. So I'm going to finish writing up what we're having for dinner. I'm going to plan out what I am going to prep on Monday live for you guys again. And I will see you around lunchtime on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Don't derail with bad behaviours. It's so easy to get off track over the weekend. So really stay on track. Food, eating well, lots of water. Summer's coming to an end, so enjoy those summer days. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend. Talk soon.